So, Cliff, what did you feel that you needed to do in Gears of War 2 that you didn't do in Gears of War 1?
Well, that's the beauty of making a sequel, is that you can figure out everything that you think you did decently in the first game and then really knock it out of the park the next time around. So you can take any category that was in the first game, from cover to the multiplayer to the campaign to the story to the graphics to the scope of the battlefield. We've ramped it all up to 11 this time around. And I like to say that the game is more epic, but it's also more intimate. So yeah, it feels like more of a war, but it's also more of a personal story as far as Marcus's best friend Dominic Santiago and his search for his wife, who's been missing for some time. That's a huge plot point in the game, and it turns out to be quite interesting.
So instead of discovering Marcus's past, it's more about Dom this time.
There's still a little bit more in there for Marcus, but as far as what happens to who, it's primarily Dominic's personal story in this game.
I think that a lot of people didn't really sort of remember the story from Gears 1. Do you feel that is something you want to add on for the next one?
Well, the story in Gears 1 was a pretty bare-bones, basic summer blockbuster. It was kind of like Armageddon, where they just had to blow up the asteroid. They had to find mapping data and send the bomb into the hole. And in Gears 2, I mean, you have to essentially find out what's sinking these entire cities that humanity has, and you have to figure out a way to stop whatever it is, as well as potentially find the Locust homeworld and strike back at the heart of the Locust, and hopefully end the threat once and for all. But you never know how those crafty enemies are. They have a way of keep coming back.
And game developers like to make sequels.
Man, we like to put food on our tables and put gas in our tanks, and the way gas prices are, we'll be making video games for a good long while.
So, technology-wise, what kind of new things can you bring thanks to the advancement of Unreal Engine 3?
I mean, we never stop cycling on the engine as far as improving it, and we have a lot of new improvements. We have crowd system now, which allows the player to deal with dozens, if not hundreds, of locusts. And in the demo that we had on stage, I actually grabbed the Mulcher Gatling gun, and I was mowing down just like a whole pile of them, which was tremendously fun. The character lighting's a lot better now this time around, so you can really see your character in the environment as well as your foes. And we have a fracturable system that allows for far more destructible environments, which really kind of makes the game feel a lot more tangible and interesting.
For the last 1.5 years, the thing that has kept Gears of War alive is the multiplayer, obviously. So what kind of things are you bringing to that experience?
Well, I think people come to a game for the graphics and the story, and I think they stay for the gameplay and the replayability and the multiplayer. And Gears 1, everyone enjoys the campaign, and once they get through the campaign, maybe they'll play through it with a friend in co-op, and then they'll start playing the multiplayer online. I mean, people play this game professionally for a living. There's entire clans that do this, right? And it's just, a lot of them have tattoos of the game, which just completely blows my mind. I saw a guy the other day who actually branded himself with the Gears of War logo like a cow. And I'm like, wow, that's really hardcore and kind of scary at the same time. But
didn't feel like doing that to the whole team.
Yeah, that's once you get hired at Epic, you get branded like you're beef, right? No, I don't think that would really go well with the North Carolina hiring laws. But yeah, I mean, the multiplayer is one of those things that initially we weren't making it a big focus in the first game, but it wound up being so much fun that we gave it some love. And this time around, we're shipping with at least 7 multiplayer game modes and tons of multiplayer maps, and I think people are going to be playing it for months, if not years, to come.
You revealed a new multiplayer mode. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, we're big fans of co-op, and in the campaign we're doing 2-player co-op, but we have a new mode called Horde, which is up to 5 players, and it's kind of like a Smash TV meets Geometry Wars, but in the Gears universe, whereas basically up to 5 human players can deal with wave after wave of locusts as they get meaner and nastier and uglier and more difficult and more challenging, and it's like up to 50 waves of challenges, and I've only gotten to wave 26 because it makes my palms sweat quite a bit.
So that's something that you are able to do now with the advancement of the technology?
Oh yeah, I mean, we can put more enemies on screen, right? We have more player characters. I mean, our multiplayer is 5 versus 5 this time around. And I mean, since we've optimized the engine, we have better netcode this time around, and we also have what we refer to as more beautiful vistas. So more open areas. When you come over the hill and you see a beautiful valley beneath you, or you're in the underground and you see the vast caverns, this is part of us optimizing our technology and getting better at using it.
Could you tell us something about the new vehicles that are going to be in the game?
So we do have a tank, which is called the Centaur, and it's kind of a combination of a monster truck with a tank, and it's tremendously fun to use, and you kind of climb up an icy mountain in that level, which is cool. You can active reload the tank also, which is that little Gears of War minigame, and when you get a perfect active reload, your shots go faster. And we revealed here at E3, actually, that you'll be able to ride creatures this time around. So you get to ride the Reaver, which is those flying squid-like creatures in the Gears universe, as well as a Brumac, which is the Locust mega tank beast, where you, Marcus and Dom, essentially commandeer and hijack one of those and use it to lay waste to all sorts of locusts.
So that's kind of funny though that you can actually ride the Bromac.
Well, the way that these creatures are is they're horses with saddles, and whoever gets in the saddle gets to drive it, right? And it's like Marcus said, if they can ride it, so can we. And the funny thing is when there was first rumors about Gears 1 and nobody knew what it was, the rumor was that it was a beast riding game, right? And now that we're actually, making the game and, it's a shooter, at the same time, now we're full circle and you actually do get to ride beasts. So it's kind of cool the way that turned out.
Speaking of the beasts, it seems like the Locust there are a few new members of the Locust.
There's a lot more new members of the Locust Horde. There's lots of drone variants also. We have a drone that wields a flamethrower, and he has a cool new helmet and armor, and he has an explosive backpack on his back, which doesn't really make sense if you're a soldier, but it's a lot of fun if you're there going shooting the guy, and you can a couple bullets, and you can make that thing explode on him. He'll go running around all panicky, right? We also have a Mauler, which is a boomer with a big helmet with horns on it, and he has a shield as well as an explosive flail, and if you shoot him at all, the shield goes up, and he starts creeping towards you, and he tries to close that gap to blow you up, which is very intimidating. I mean, that, and we have grapple drones, we have Beast Rider drones, and just all these variations that really make the Locust truly a threat.
And using the Locust as your shield as well, how's that changed the gameplay?
Well, I mean, Gears has always been about, that kind of idea of intimate violence. And, you can shoot the Locust and they'll try and crawl away when you damage them in the single player and in the multiplayer. And if you walk up to them and press A, you can take them as a hostage. And then, of course, you switch to your pistol and you can use, like, the semi-automatic burst pistol to kind of take out your foes. And the funny thing is it's kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card for a chainsaw attack or for an explosive attack. So if I were to take you hostage and somebody over there shoots a grenade at me, if I turn and face the grenade, you'll explode in itty-bitty bits and I'll be okay. And it's a nice way of protecting yourself. Oh, we also have a metal shield that you can pick up too, which is the one that the Mauler had, and you can kind of use that and plant it in the ground, which is really cool too.
How did the Locust react to you using their friends as a shield, or don't they care?
They don't care, man. They're savages, and they figure basically once somebody's been taken, fine. And it's fun in multiplayer though. That's the only way that players can damage other players unless you have friendly fire on. Like if I take somebody hostage and somebody tries to chainsaw me, they can actually chainsaw their dead friend, and then he's stuck chainsawing him for a second or two, and I have a chance to shoot him.
So that sounds like an achievement.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have lots of achievements for like chainsaw dueling and all the different things. But more importantly, the achievements are actually throttled this time around. So if you're trying to go for your headshot achievement, you only get one per match. So we don't want players completely messing with their playstyle. We want them to just play the game and get the achievements over time. It seems to be the best way to do it.
Speaking of over time, you've had 2 years to make this game. Is that enough for a big game like this, or have you been rushed in any way?
I wouldn't say we've been rushed, but there's certainly been a lot of pressure. Keep in mind in that time frame we also shipped Gears PC, which had a really good selection of extra content. But at the same time, we've been hiring and staffing up like crazy. We're a very well-managed studio, and we made the proper decisions to make the most amazing game possible and make sure we have it out and perfect for November 7th, 2008.
A lot of pressure there.
A tremendous amount of pressure. I think my eyeballs are about to pop out of my head.
Well,
we can deal with it, though.
Yeah. Because obviously you are the big blockbuster title for Microsoft this holiday season.
Well, we're hoping that we're the blockbuster title on any platform this holiday.
Microsoft too, I guess.
Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Appreciate it.
And we look forward to playing Gears 2 soon.
Look forward to finishing it and look forward to you playing it.